What's going on, folks? It's Nike and welcome to an all-new MyGM episode featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers. We made it all the way to the NBA Finals after a surprising sweep against the Miami Heat, but in their defense, they did play without Ray Allen and Chris Bosh was listed as day-to-day. So as you can see, we're going up against the Houston Rockets after they managed to defeat the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. And as always, you guys know the drill. I'm only allowed to play 2 games each round, and this time it is not going to change. We are simulating these first few games, and you can definitely tell that these Houston Rockets are a much tougher opponent compared to the Miami Heat, or shall I say, the injured Miami Heat. But right here, I made a huge mistake. I was actually planning on playing Game 6, but instead I accidentally simulated that game, and luckily for us, we actually lost that game. Can you imagine if we would have won that game? This season would have been over. We would have won the NBA championship and there wouldn't have been a Game 7 or an NBA Finals gameplay. So I gotta step up my game. That was a new move by me, and hopefully that is the last new move that you're going to see in this series. But before we are hopping into tonight's gameplay commentary, there's one thing that I do want to talk about, and that is what we're going to do in the off-season. And I want to get all of you guys in the comments involved, because tonight is going to be the last game of the season. Regardless if we win or lose, tonight is going to be the last game. And we got a big off-season ahead of us, with LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony being the big free agents that every single team wants to acquire out there. So my question to all of you who are watching tonight, should we go after LeBron James in the off-season, or should we go after Carmelo Anthony in the off-season? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure to try and get one of those two guys in the off-season. But let's get into tonight's gameplay. We are in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and there is no room for off-topic discussions. We are in the middle of a battle against a very strong Houston Rockets team. They got Dwight Howard, they got James Harden, they got a great point guard in Patrick Beverley who loves to play defense, and the rest of the guys are pretty deadly shooters. But as you got Jeremy Lin committing that turnover, hopefully he's not going to play like this for my Los Angeles Lakers. But we are definitely capitalizing on that mistake, getting that fast break dunk to go. So as we're back on the attack, I'm trying to run that pick and roll with Dion Waiters, but the Houston Rockets were leaving my main man out there, Gordon Hayward, wide open all game long. You can see he's having a spectacular game, not missing a single shot so far, and hopefully he's going to remain like that until the end of this game, because that is exactly the kind of performance that we need tonight if we want to separate ourselves from the Houston Rockets. We are pretty much equal when it comes to the presence in the paint. We got Andre Drummond matching up against Dwight Howard and Kenneth Faried matching up against Terrence Jones. So with that being said, the Houston Rockets, they do have an advantage on the shooting guard position, but I feel we have an advantage on the point guard position. So with that being said, Gordon Hayward and some of my other role players are going to be the X factor in tonight's game, because that is what is going to separate us from the Houston Rockets. But as we got Jeremy Lin getting crossed over by Kyrie Irving, once again, I'm just hoping that we are not going to see that type of Jeremy Lin in Los Angeles. Yup, pray for LA, people. But as we're back on the attack, look at that beautiful slam dunk by Kenneth Faried, and Dwight Howard, there's nothing he can do about that. Once again, Jeremy Lin committing another turnover, and I just keep on repeating myself. But again, I'm hoping that I'm not going to see this type of Jeremy Lin playing for my Los Angeles Lakers, because you can see what is happening. All of these turnovers are leading to amazing fast break opportunities for us, and so far we've been capitalizing on all of them. We got an amazing defensive stop by Dion Waiters, and as we're trying to run that fast break again, this time the Houston Rockets are actually back on defense, but they forgot about one man in the paint, and that is Kenneth Faried, the Manimal. Why is nobody out there trying to stop this dude? But as we're going into the fourth quarter, we have been in total control so far, but unfortunately, things are about to change. We got Jeremy Lin Look at him, finally doing something right out there on the court, getting that 3-point shot to go. And this is going to be the beginning of a huge run for the Houston Rockets. No matter what type of defense I tried to play, they were just scoring buckets in bunches and there was nothing I can do. So now it is all about trying to get back into this game, and hopefully Kyrie Irving and of course my X Factor of tonight's game, Gordon Hayward, are going to step up and get us back into it. So with Gordon Hayward getting that mid-range jumper to go, things are definitely looking good so far. Currently down by 5 points, we got Kyrie knocking down that fadeaway jumper. That was a difficult shot right there, but of course, you guys know Kyrie Irving, he's a beast out there. Once again, going up against Jeremy Lin, Kyrie Irving is showing off his mid-range game. I am loving this, people. I'm certainly loving this. But as we got Andre Drummond going up against Dwight Howard, he is struggling to score a basket against that amazing defense. But ultimately, look at him just fighting in the paint and ultimately persevering and getting us 2 points. And on this very next play right here, look at Andre Drummond getting that steal, running the fast break, and once again, going with our X Factor of tonight's game, Gordon Hayward, who gets another jumper to go. So this game is going down to the wire, currently down by 4. We got another amazing defensive stop by Dion Waiters, and as we're back on that fast break, look at Gordon Hayward! Look at him flying out of this building, people! Did you expect to see him jumping like this? Oh my goodness! Currently down by 2 points with around 40 seconds left in this game. Kyrie Irving making short work of Jeremy Lin and his defense. So now at the end of this fourth quarter, we are in a tied up game, 81 points apiece. And hopefully we can get this defensive stop that we're looking for, because we want to win tonight. And look at Andre Drummond getting that steal. But once again, I messed up in this NBA Finals series. I did not call for a timeout, and I'm not sure why that happened. I just thought that I could knock down that 3-point shot, but at the end of the day, I should have called for a timeout. That was a huge mistake, and hopefully it is not going to bite me in the behind, as we are now in overtime and things are not looking that great. Dwight Howard all of a sudden decided to turn up, and look at him! There is nothing you can do when Dwight Howard is playing like this out there on the court. Look at Jeremy Lin not getting that shot to go, but once again, Dwight Howard is all over that possession and getting a putback dunk to go. Currently down by 5. Look at this cheese though. Dwight Howard is taking over this overtime, people. There was nothing I can do to stop this man. We are trying to get back into this game with the dunk by Kenneth Faried. But is it going to be enough to come back from the 5-point deficit that we got ourselves into? Well, maybe, but not after plays like this. 2 alley-oop dunks for Dwight Howard, 1 putback dunk for Dwight Howard, easy layups in the paint. This guy pretty much took over the game in this overtime, and there was nothing we can do about it. I wasn't prepared for Dwight Howard to go off like this. My defense was focused in on James Harden, Chandler Parsons, because those two guys, they were having a huge game tonight. And all of a sudden, in overtime, Dwight Howard decided to turn on beast mode and ultimately get this NBA championship for his Houston Rockets. Unfortunately, we couldn't win the NBA championship in our first season, but I guess we should be grateful that we even made it all the way to the NBA Finals with the roster that is so young. I'm expecting great things to happen for these Cleveland Cavaliers in the future. But of course, like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, make sure to let me know which free agent we should go after in the offseason. LeBron James or Carmelo Anthony, and I'm going to try my best to get one of them. But that is it for me. Congrats to the Houston Rockets. Stay classy, folks. Cheers, Nike.
Losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime.